Hello everybody and welcome back to another My Little Pony video on the channel. I'm going to compare the Season 9 premiere and the finale for My Little Pony Friendship's Magic to determine which fight scene is better and which villain had the best advantage against our beloved characters. I've been wanting to make this into an argument for a while now. Unfortunately, I never had the time until now, and I thought it would be a very interesting topic to discuss. So with that being said, let's get straight into it. Before I even begin with my argument, here are a few rules. There will be 3 total rounds. The first round is durability, which is the arrangement and total screen timing for both episodes. The second round will be strength, and the third round will be their final given moments before they were defeated. Also, this is a comparison which will not be determined who is better just by being a fan favorite. Now let's move on. Round 1, Durability. Both sequences had the main 6 on high alert. While the 3 villains, Cozy Glow, Lord Tiric, and Queen Chrysalis went their separate ways before reuniting again, only 2 of the villains were slightly a bit sloppy and were overwhelmed at a certain point. Although Tiric didn't even flinch at his performance, however, since he only took magic from the pillars, he's still vulnerable. Now, comparing that to King Sombra's battle, he didn't last very long, although he was fairly quick on his own mission. However, that still doesn't support the fact that he was defeated twice, the first time by the Crystal Heart, then returns again in the next episode, only to be iced by the Magic of Friendship by the main 6. Sadly, I had to give a point to the 3 villains, even though they were working together. If they didn't have Grogar's Bewitching Bell, then the 3 villains are more likely to have less screen timing, and King Sombra definitely would have won this round. Round 2, Strength. It's not easy to measure strength. It really depends on a decent strategy, so it would be a good idea to try and play with the cards properly. For example, a rock versus a shuriken. Now you would strongly agree that the shuriken is going to win, right? Well, yes and no. The rock may also win in a fight because it really only depends on how you use it. Now in this case, the 3 villains had very powerful magic. However, Discord immediately warned Twilight and the princesses before their launch of attack. It took an entire army just to take down Cozy Glow, Lord Tiric, and Queen Chrysalis. I mean, sure, but only 2 out of the 3 villains are one of the biggest threats to Equestria alone. At least they were smart enough to turn the ponies against each other before the finale, and besides that, they only took down the pillars, Starlight Glimmer, and the princesses. King Sombra, on the other hand, manipulated an entire village, and perhaps he could manipulate an entire army of ponies if he wanted to. However, the pillars nor the princesses weren't present until the second episode, but never confronted King Sombra. Twilight and her friends were the only ones who chose to fight him on their own. As much as I want to say that the 3 villains would win this round, but this round was to determine how strong they really are, and not based on how they were defeated. In my opinion, the 3 villains are more likely vulnerable with or without Grogar's Bell, because you also have to think about what ponies and what other creatures are capable of. And King Sombra is a formidable foe. He doesn't play around, so my final conclusion is that King Sombra wins this round. And finally, round 3, Defeats. Now, as I previously mentioned in round 2, it did take an entire army of creatures to distract the 3 villains, Cozy Glow, Lord Tiric, and Queen Chrysalis, versus King Sombra and the main 6. Although it was a diversion for the 3 villains, it only took the main 6, the students, the pillars, and the princesses, and of course Discord to imprison the 3 villains. Comparing that to King Sombra being disintegrated into thin air only by the main 6, honestly, I think both would possibly make a return. I mean, King Sombra has made quite several returns both on and off screen throughout the series, so it's safe to say that both teams would survive after their defeats, or somewhat make a return at least. Therefore, both teams earned a point. I would strongly agree with your opinions whether the finale was better than the season premiere, but neither one stood a chance against the Magic of Friendship. I do believe both teams have done a great job, even though they both failed miserably. I'll give them credit for their endurance, but I'll let you guys decide who is better. Just remember, this is a little theory, my little theory. Also, if you're new to the channel or a returning subscriber, be sure to turn on notifications so you won't miss another upload, and subscribe if you haven't already. I post more content like this. As always, thanks for watching. I'm Ryukyoto, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.